In this video, I would like to introduce a new power nozzle. Oh, you've seen it before, but not exactly this power nozzle, because that Bosch branded EBK 340 power nozzle was recently donated to the lab by one Alan O and delivered by one Thomas Rechtenwald. So I want to hook it up to this blue Bosch Formula Electro Duo, and I want to compare it to my granddaddy Electrolux Olympia 1, fully refurbished, with a new hose, of course. We have a freshly blown out HEPA bag, and I have an overabundance of paper bags for a lot of my machines, and I want to kind of get rid of them because I also have all the HEPA bag equivalents to my machines. But when I get these paper bags, I'm getting like sacks and sacks of them for free, or 10 cents a bag or something like that. And this is literally brand new, never been used for anything, still has all the original creases in it. So this is what we're going to use for this setup, and we're going to do 10 grams in the carpet and do a couple of cycles and see what these two monster canisters can pick up. Now, you should know, if you're not familiar with these two power nozzles, this one right here has really long, soft bristles. The agitation is not harsh or high in any way. This one is totally different. So how about we get some initial empty bag weights? All right, let's see how well I can get these to balance. Okay, starting weight for the Electrolux bag, 60.08. And starting weight for the Bosch Type G bag, I think that'll sit okay down here. And oh goody, you can still see that, 31.68 grams. Okay, let's get you in closer. Eager anticipation. How well did Electrolux make machines over 40 years ago as far as quick, fine dust pickup? That's a pretty gentle power nozzle. Definitely doesn't have uber agitation. Oh, that did pretty well. That actually did pretty well. So we ended up with 65.44, and I will subtract 60.08, and that's very nice, isn't it? Over half of what we put down, 54% pickup. That's really great for fine dust. So now let's move over to the Bosch with a completely different power nozzle design. Okay, let's get you in closer. Now for the board of measurement. Okay, we ended up with, that's a good result. So let's see, 38.25 minus 31.68. Hey, that's really good. Move the decimal place. We got ourselves a real winner here, about 66%. Well, we have a lot to go over. Starting on the left, the Electrolux did a fabulous, considering its age, 54% for this 2-cycle pickup. The Bosch, right, with that EBK 340 on its highest power setting, did an incredible, a chart-topping 66% in 2 cycles. You could see that nozzle digging and actually grabbing that fine dust out of there. Unbelievable agitation and just a boatload of bristles in that power nozzle. Now the 10 cycle for the Electrolux, I performed that test a while back, it got 92%. And the Bosch, I went ahead and did another 8 cycles after the 2 cycle, therefore coming up to 10 cycles, and it did 93%. So isn't that interesting? After, again, 10 cycles instead of 2 cycles. So it seems like we have some incredible winners here. But I need to talk to you about that EBK 340. And by the way, the overall average for bagged pickup and also the raw bin pickup for bagless pickup for this 2-cycle test is now running at 45%. So both of these 2 machines do far above average. So do you see my little power meter down there? So this combo as a whole, on maximum power, that is the slider turned all the way to max, and then running this power nozzle at a reasonable rate on this medium pile carpet, uses 1,500 watts. That's kind of a lot. And that power nozzle, what you couldn't see on camera when I was doing the pickup test, was that I had literally both of my hands around that wand to try to keep that rear end from picking up. So I did my best to keep it level, and if you go and rewatch the video from a few minutes prior, you'll see that I was able to keep it fairly level, and the rear end wouldn't exactly tilt up that much. But I had to use 2 hands and be very careful with the whole setup, otherwise the nozzle literally just went whoop, and that's because there's literally too much clamping and digging action with that brush roll down there, and it's very apparent. So I've had, when I've done my whole house carpet cleanings, I've had setups where it's just entirely too much power. It's just too much. Even that little dual Sanitronic 80 back there, it was no good on medium pile carpet. I had to go and force the nozzle up a notch and turn on the airflow suction relief valve to its maximum position. Well, you know what I had to do with this? I had to actually go and turn that slider, slide that little slider over to almost all the way down, and I measured it with my meter down to 600 watts, down from 1,500. Only at about that level did that power nozzle become fairly usable with one hand, and the rear end didn't pick up so much on the carpet. So I've got, if I'm using a power nozzle like these 2, I've got about 1,200 square feet to clean. This, I can make it, even with it running at its maximum power. That canister only pulls 1,000 watts. This canister is probably pulling a little over 1,300, and then of course you add in what the power nozzles actually draw. So this setup here is not super light, but it's reasonable for me to push on this medium pile carpet, and I can do 1,200 square feet. It takes a little bit of work, but if I try to use this at its full 1,500 watt setting, I have no chance of making it. Literally none whatsoever. So this picks up fantastic, super fantastic at its maximum level, which essentially is really realistic. Let's be honest, it's unusable on this carpet. So just like back in the spring of 2019, when I was working on my church's sanitaires, they had way too much airflow and clamping action on my carpet, and I had to go and turn the height knob from, say, like medium all the way up into the high shag pile setting, which of course doesn't make much sense because this isn't shag. So this setup right here probably is geared more for, say, low pile, bare floor, something that's not as dense and as thick as this. So realistically speaking, this one is the usable winner. This one will still probably do fairly well, but you've got to go and you've got to turn that power way down, which of course then would significantly drop the pickup from that EBK 340. That is a great power nozzle, but not for this carpet. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more. So since this Bosch with the EBK 340 did so well, watch me struggle with it on high power as I finish the cleanup. Here, I'll show you what I mean. See the rear end come up, right? So I do, like, say, 2 hands, right? And go a little bit slower. So that's kind of a lot of work. So if I turn it way down, right? Now I can use one hand, and I can go at a reasonable speed, and the rear end stays down almost perfectly. It's not quite. Okay. Too fast. Gotta go slower. See that? It still comes up at full power. I can park it though. It's got a little parking bracket right there. So I can park it. That's nice. Be able to park this thing. There we go. Whoop. Click. Yay, I can park it. See, this is fine, right? I mean, obviously this is a low pile, right? And the speed's all the way up. And this is no big deal. I'll check. There probably isn't anything there since it does pick up very well. So let's see. Any fine dust? Nope. We're all good. So, very nice cleaner, just doesn't work on this carpet.